So I had the privilege of making the acquaintance over the years with Walter Cronkite, Andy Rooney, with Dan Rather, Jeff Fager, many of the legends of CBS News. Now comes Jeff Glor, the new anchor for the CBS Evening News. At a moment of enormous upheaval and challenge for everyone in the media, he will be the one who leads the CBS Evening News into the future. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Jeff Glor.
No pressure, Bill. No pressure at all. Bill, thank you very much for the invitation. Thank you to my boss, David Rhodes, who is with us here today, and to my CBS News colleagues who are at the table here, and to all of you. I've been inspired this afternoon listening to your stories, and I'm heartened about the future of this business, listening to this diverse group and why you want to do this. The OPC Foundation and CBS News are both deeply committed to international reporting. Those shared values bring all of us here today and every year to embrace all of that. The passports at CBS News are thick with stamps and always have been. In 1938, we brought you the World News Roundup. For the first time, correspondents around the world came together on the radio for a live news broadcast. America met Ed Murrow that night, reporting from Vienna on the cusp of World War II. It was groundbreaking stuff, live news every night from across the globe, right? 80 years later, it hasn't gotten old. World News Roundup remains the longest-running news broadcast, and CBS News remains committed to international reporting every single night. You will find more foreign news on our air than the other networks. That does not mean we don't feel great pride in our country, but we recognize that others feel the same way about theirs. From Kansas to California, Paris to Pyeongchang, that remains relevant today and always will. We know the world exists outside our borders. We believe it's worthy of our time and our resources. For 5 years in a row, our London correspondent Elizabeth Palmer and her crew traveled to Syria as often as they could, visas permitting. Liz has gained extraordinary access to the war and its victims and has conducted rare interviews that entire time. Liz and her team made it to the besieged city of Aleppo 3 times, threading their way through dangerous battle zones and areas under attack by a patchwork of rebel groups, including ISIS. Several times they had to turn back down a single road to Aleppo from Damascus as it became unsafe with fierce fighting on every side. Those are the challenges and the situations that correspondents like Liz Palmer put themselves in time and time again. I am never not inspired by the work they do. The stories they found inside Aleppo were rare and moving. Plastic sheeting turned into a sniper's curtain. Whole neighborhoods turned into rubble. Bomb-maimed children still playing soccer in the streets, trying to find some semblance of joy in all that. In Palmyra, she was the first and only American journalist to get there right after ISIS withdrew. Her reporting on a very complex issue and a very complex war has been comprehensive and compassionate. We are lucky to have it. We are lucky to have her. We are lucky to have all of our foreign correspondents and all of you working as correspondents as well. The strength of your organization and our organization is in its correspondence and in the stories they report and the stories they write. Always has been, always will be. Reporting from conflict zones is not cheap. It certainly isn't safe. In 2006, CBS cameraman Paul Douglas and sound technician James Brolin were killed by a bomb in Baghdad, along with a U.S. Army captain and an Iraqi translator. In Syria, journalists have been killed in cold blood and beheaded just for trying to report the story. Our teams travel with security, body armor, and armored vehicles. It costs a lot of money, but it's worth it if we can keep people safe. I was fortunate to start my career at CBS with an extended trip to Iraq. I've been very lucky since then to make extended trips to Asia, Europe, and Africa, and more spots in the years since. For me, that travel, and for all of us, that travel is essential. Reporting and recording what is happening is essential. You know this already, all of our award winners today, but soak up every single thing you can. Travel as much as you can, read as much as you can, grow as much as you can. You will be better, and this world will be better because of it. Days after I took this job, just in December, it's been 3 months, 2.5 months, feels like it's been about 2.5 years at times, but we traveled to Paris, we traveled to France. We made it a point to make one of our first trips an overseas trip. We interviewed French President Emmanuel Macron as he hosted the One Planet Summit. Macron has, as we've all seen, quickly tried to insert himself into a wide range of issues that a lot of folks consider intractable. Climate change, Jerusalem, terrorism. He believes solutions are possible and smart, difficult conversations can help. This spring, Macron will be the guest of honor at President Trump's first ever state dinner. The good news is that foreign reporting has never been easier than it is right now, in some ways. Cameras are smaller, transmission is cheaper. Yes, major media outlets in many cases have fewer official bureaus, but that doesn't keep correspondents and producers from covering stories. This month alone, we've had teams on the ground in Cape Town, Israel, Mexico, Moscow, Myanmar, South Korea, Syria, and Yemen. February isn't over yet. We, of course, do not have exclusive domain over these stories we cover. That's an important thing to remember. It is not enough just to be there, as complicated as it can be to get there. We have to stand out and above with our writing and our reporting. CBS News always has, it always will. There is a lot of discussion right now about media consumption and viewer behavior, how to reach people who grew up with a phone instead of a remote or a TV. For us, it begins and ends with the work. Young audiences, believe it or not, are gravitating to serious topics just as they did before, even though they find all of this on different platforms. That's okay. We are proud to be doing a newscast on mobile and on our streaming news service, CBSN. We know the audience cares, and it's our job to reach them wherever they are, whatever they're looking at. If the reporting is extraordinary, people will find it. CBSN has become a great space for deeper dives on these foreign stories. It has been so heartening to watch in my office and in our newsroom some of the discussions that take place on our streaming channel, because we can take some of those deeper dives, something we're also doing in increasing frequency on the evening news, and you will see more of that in the years to come. After Hurricane Maria, our correspondent David Begnaud spent weeks reporting from Puerto Rico. And while he filed daily for CBS This Morning in the evening news, he was also able to do extensive reporting for CBSN. We started seeing spikes in mobile viewers when he was on and realized that Puerto Ricans without power were somehow finding that and watching on their cell phones. I've heard similar stories from other correspondents inside our building and outside, whether it's doctors in Haiti or friends in Hong Kong. CBSN isn't just a place for more foreign coverage, it is also attracting an international following. Like the rest of our news division, they cover a wide range of issues with sensitivity and editorial control. We do not allow rumors and phony stories to seed and spread. We'd love for more of the social networks to join us in this endeavor and take full responsibility for their platforms. You saw a perfect example of that just this week when the damage that can be done when one rogue video is sanctioned by an algorithm and not a discerning human. It's a reminder that what we do is important Editors are important. Writers are important. Correspondents, producers. Journalism has been challenged and criticized today. It has been in the past. This is not a completely unique moment in our history. I don't mean to disappoint, but it's not. It will be challenged in the future too, as it should be. We have to get it right, and when we don't, we should be called on it, others should be too. Our job is to keep doing what we can, the best way we can, every single day. Stay focused. Stay focused. Regardless of whether it's CBSN, the CBS Evening News, CBS This Morning, 60 Minutes, Sunday Morning, 48 Hours, or Face the Nation, with a new anchor as of yesterday, the amazing Margaret Brennan, we have to make sure it's right every time. We need your help. Many of you that we've heard from today have made this commitment and demonstrated the proficiency already at a very young age. You will carry the mantle. Good journalists make other journalists better. We can and must inspire each other. I have already been inspired by all the stories I heard today, so thank you very much for having me. Congratulations and good luck.
Thank you all. See you next year. Thank you.